the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Michigan International Raceway, the site of 2 races left until the cutoff for the top 12. Saturday Night Racing League getting ready to grid right now as we get set to bring you flag-to-flag coverage on V-Speed. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside my co-commentator of the season, Connor Horn. And Connor, we've seen a lot of action thus far and a few first-time winners, but it's been Jeff Wright pretty dominant all season long. Do you think this is another one of those tracks he's going to put it out there?
I think he's definitely going to be a contender for the win, as he's had his struggle on short tracks, but it doesn't really matter what type of track he goes to. He's always contending for the win, just like he did 2 weeks ago at Watkins Glen. Thought he was going to take that one, but Joseph McWhorter was able to become our newest winner in Saturday Night Racing League, winning at Watkins Glen. And he will start just inside the top 10 tonight. He'll have work on his hands for 200 miles tonight. Ray Massey is the one on pole tonight, but like you said, I think that 48 is going to be hard to beat once again.
Up there on your screen right now, checking out the points as we get ready to take our pace lap for the second time around this place. Ray Massey going to start on the pole here tonight. And we talk about this schedule. Michigan, and then we have Darlington, an off week, and then our 6-race chase beginning at Chicagoland. A lot of these tracks fit in the wheelhouse of Jeff Wright, but let's take you out here onto your grid real quick and show you your pole sitter with a 30.3 flat. Ray Massey right next to Chad Klinger, 0.06 of a second separating these two. The next row is going to belong to Jeff Wright with AJ Stravato in 4th. 5th spot will be Mark Whitley, Michael Sturgill in 6th. 7th, Alex Bell and Chuck Sweeting. Chuck Sweeting, a big jump in the points there after last week's race. And then Seth Hatchell and Joseph McWhorter rounding out your top 10.
And then just outside the top 10, Billy Turner called himself in the race chat the worst qualifier in the field. I don't know about that. Out of 21 to put a time down, he's still 11th, but I bet he wishes he was still further up. So Turner 11th, Banks, our winner at Bristol, starting 12th. Max Cost, consistent entry this season, starts 13th. Jonathan Smith, 14th. Sean Langton, the Jim Beam Ford Fusion, I think a rare appearance from this season, he's 15th. Joel Swain, who joined at Kentucky, 16th. Reggie Ortega's back in the 2 Harpoon Designs Monte Carlo. He's 17th. Jared Swain is in the 18th position. Then Eric Hutton, our Daytona winner, back in the field. Not a good qualifying for him. He's 19th. And Lucas Lyons just rounding out the top 20.
2 more cars out there on the field. Bentley Glacier did not go out on track, so we've got Mark McFadden. And rounding out your field tonight of 22 cars will be Eddie Trejo in the 21. So we've talked about it before all season long. We always have a pick. Who's your pick here tonight?
I'm going to go AJ Stravato. I think he's going to be the man for this 2-mile racetrack.
He did really well at California and made the race a little bit harder than he needed to. I'm going to go with the 48 of Jeff Wright. He's been tough to beat all season long, but let's find out. Green flag up in the air, and we're live and racing at Michigan. Langton leading lap number 1. It's going to be the 23 of Ray Massey. Jeff Wright hot on the tail. And you can see this 3-wide battle going into 1. The 33 of Stravado up the middle.
And Stravado really forced his issue there. Massey did not get a good initial start, but he was able to hold off the 09 on the bottom. And now he's on the top side. Here comes Jeff Wright to the bottom.
They're going to shuffle back and forth in these front 3 or 4 spots until these tires wear out. And the right rear on this track is what you're going to have to pay attention to, because running this low line is going to burn that right rear off, and it's going to get really loose out of 4. You see Ray Massey all the way to the outside. He's going to maintain that run. He'll hold on to the lead for maybe another lap, but Jeff Wright is there at the door.
Not much he can really do about it besides pinch that 48 down, and that's what the 33 Stravado's trying to do to Chad Klinger as they're 2x2 within the top 4. Look at the run that 33's got. He's trying to look to the middle. Massey's in the wall.
Massey up into the outside wall. That's going to allow Stravado and Klinger to go around him. Massey falls all the way back to 5th. Now Michael Sturgill up to 4th. Jeff Wright takes over the lead. He's got a hungry Stravado. Our 2 picks, 1 and 2 right now.
Yeah, Massey just inched up too close to the wall and it just grabbed him like glue up there. So you got to be careful of that. No damage, but he's back to the 5th position now. Bailey Turner's already up to 6th right behind him as we got 3-wide action in the back with the 7-2, and I believe Jonathan Smith on the top of that. Crazy battles to start this race as Stravado's looking to the bottom for the lead.
We're looking back here. These guys look like Ortega, the 7 of Langton, but back up here up front. They just won't give us a break to look back here. The 33 is going to try to snag away the lead. Now there's a pinch that you were talking about. That was what Ray Massey really didn't do to the 48 and allowed Stravado to get a really good run off of 2 before he grabbed the wall. There was a moment there where I thought maybe Massey could pull it off, but when you get stuck up there, like you said, it's just like glue. It pulls you, and you're dragging the brakes at that point.
Yeah, it's difficult to not get up into that wall when trying to pinch someone. You don't have that much room above you at this track as Jeff Wright clears for the lead over the 3rd Stravado. You can pinch the guy in the bottom, but it's really going to hurt your arc out of the corner. And that wall comes up in a hurry at Michigan, especially with the high speeds that we're going to see tonight. I've already seen 205 entering turn number 1. So it is going to be fast, and the action is going to be fast, and that wall's going to come up in a hurry. So got to be careful if you're Massey to not do that again, because once you hit that wall, it almost seems like you keep hitting it at certain tracks like this one as the battle for the lead has died down a little bit. Bailey Turner's still coming to the front.
Bailey Turner gets around Ray Massey. That's going to move him into the top 5. Not a lot of passing going on in this top 10. We have to go all the way back to about the 11th position. Alex Bell and Jared Swain are side by side. Just behind them, you have the 77 of Mark Whitley and 3 wide into 1 or into 3. They sorted it out quickly.
Sean Langton's that's the 2nd time I've seen him go 3 wide to the bottom. He's being very aggressive, but you kind of have to be hard to pass with how high the horsepower is. It is still difficult to get a run on someone. He's up 2 positions because of how aggressive he's been.
Personally, for me, driving this car, it almost seems out of control at times. Back up front, side by side for the lead. 33 is Stravado. He might get the run into 3 this time and clear Jeff Wright.
I think he caught Jeff Wright napping because that 33 was so far back entering turn 1. I think Jeff Wright was trying to get in a groove, just save tire, but he gave him too much time and it let Wright to his outside.
Now these guys racing side by side is allowing Chad Klinger to catch up to this pack as well.
Oh my goodness, he got all sorts of action back there. I think him and the 7 came together back there. Ortega entered turn 1 on the apron, but he somehow didn't lose too much momentum.
The 7 has worked his way up. That's Sean Langton from 15th to 13th. And all these aggressive moves that he's made is just really to get the positions back that he lost. Maybe a bad restart or a bad start to this race for the 7 of Langton, because we've seen him pass probably 7 or 8 cars since the beginning of this race.
Yeah, so the front 2 still go side by side. 15 and the 43 still side by side as well. They've been nearly banging doors as well, as Stravado did lead that time at the line. He's almost got him clear, getting the run on the top side, and he will. So finally, the 33 clears the 48. Sturgill gets to the 3rd position over Chad Klinger. Now he tries to set his sights on that low Chevy.
Nothing in front of the 33 now. We've got the clean air, and that's what you want at the place like Michigan to try to maintain those tires. The only downfall at this track really is that you can't get away from people, and you're going to see this top 10 probably stay right on top of each other until they hit pit road. You might have a few guys break away.
Would not be surprised. Probably going to see a lot of pit stops today, too, with the 80% fuel limit. We might see even three green flag stops, so it's not going to be too much longer until these guys do come down for some tires here, as way close to the wall goes the top 4 and the 33. Now Jeff Wright's back to his outside.
So another move for the lead. Jeff Wright said, you can have a couple laps. I'm going to try to take it back. And a great battle up front since lap 1. We're 10 laps into this race. Michael Sturgill's going to join the party as he gets around Chad Klinger for 3rd. And Bailey Turner slowly creeping up, bringing Ray Massey and a few others. Chuck Sweeting, Seth Hatchell, Joshua Banks, the end of that group right there. Stravato, he's going to concede this position now, and Sturgill's to the outside.
Sturgill went way high in turn 1 to get a big run. He's got a run. He will clear it. No, he won't quite clear Stravato, but he'll get darn close to doing so. He's looking even higher than the second groove. It's really only a 2.5 groove track at most, but he's making a line work that we've really never seen since this track got repaved in around 2011, 2012. And he's got something to do here on the 48 as he gets clear for 2nd.
Looking out the back of Jeff Wright. For some reason, my camera is on the ARCA car. Didn't load. The Gen 4 car did not load, so I'll have to get that fixed during our commercial break. I'm sure I can get that sorted out. But so far, it's been an excellent show. We've seen several lead changes. 3 to be exact. 0 cautions. And it's been a good one. I've enjoyed the action so far. Michael Sturgill going to try to challenge for the lead now.
I just enjoy the speed. It's one of the few tracks where you have a lot of speed these days, even with the new gen cars. They're probably the fastest cars here. Now the battle for 3rd. Stravato got a bad run out of 4. Chad Klinger looks to his inside. These two have had history, if you think back to Martinsville, but they'll battle cleanly with much higher speeds, as Sturgill's still trying to work on Jeff Wright, but can't make a move quite yet.
Yeah, Sturgill seemed like he might have been a little gun shy there when he was getting around Stravato. He lifted to let the 48 stay in front of him. He had enough of a run. He probably could have challenged both of them coming off of 2.
He didn't quite feel like it, as you see these top 5 or so really breaking away a little bit from 6th place. He is trying to see Chuck Sweeting. He's up 2 positions. Ray Massey continues to fall from his pole position. It's really a line of 9 cars that have broken away from the rest of the field. Now, about 12, 13, 14 laps in, you're finally starting to see some of the field spread out. We still have these top 5 packed on one another, and then the top 9 separated, but everyone else, it's just in their sort of individual battles.
Biggest mover of the race so far is the 42 of Jared Swam. He has 7 positions gained from where he started back in 18th, currently challenging his brother, I do believe, the 43.
Trying to get by him right here, but not able to make anything happen. Ortega almost looked like he bounced off the wall there in the 2. He's gotten forward a little bit, only 4 positions, but it's progress nonetheless. And Alex Bell, kind of like we've seen from all season long on the opposite end of things. He started 7th, he's back to 14th. Well, probably a tire-saving thing, but you almost don't know if you can call it that at that point, because he's done it all season long and hasn't really produced that great of results. That was close.
Another driver that's struggling here tonight, and it's unusual, is Eric Hutton. He usually does really well at these 2-mile ovals, these bigger tracks. He's back to 19th position, or 15th position rather. Started in 19th.
Oh, Chad Klinger, sorry. He went for a ride almost through the grass. I don't know if he hit Stravato or what, but he went darting to the infield for a moment. He's going to lose a few spots.
Let's see if we can get an instant replay of what happened too.
Oh my goodness. That's a line we haven't seen in 10 years at Michigan.
Oh, Sturgill came up in front of him. Sturgill got loose, and yeah, the 09 of Klinger.
Oh my goodness.
Had to avoid it. They went 3 wide there into 1.
Yeah, Sturgill's struggling right now. I think he's been driving his stuff too hard and starting to show on the corner exits. He had a big moment out of 2 as well. He's able to keep at least the 3rd position. Stravato's back to 2nd, but you tell he is wheeling it off the corners.
Running on board here with the 33 Estravado. You can see that gap growing a little bit each lap, 0.4 of a second separating him and Jeff Wright. And as these laps progress, the 80% fuel factor, that's probably going to come into play here. You're going to see some guys short pit. It was a strategy race, the last race we watched. If you remember correctly, there were 3 different strategies going on, and they all kind of ended up meeting in the middle. Guys had to pit with 2 to go. They got Chuck Sweeting, who was leading the race. He all but
Oh, we got a crash.
fuel.
Turn 3, the 7, the 42. I think Ortega might have gotten a piece of that as well. That's going to be our first caution.
And the aggressive driver that we're talking about, Sean Langton, is involved in it. So maybe some 3 wide happened again?
Probably a decent bet, but he definitely got the worst of it, I think. He's got a lot of damage from whatever happened into turn 3. So we'll get the replay momentarily. That'll definitely bring everyone to pit road. Don't worry about green flag stops yet. Ooh, big wiggle off of turn 2. Let's see what happened here.
Loose.
Oh, look how close he is. Side drafting Ortega.
And 3 wide for Bell. There it is.
Yeah. Ooh,
He was already loose too. He slid up into the 2 and into the 42.
It almost looked like Langton was pinching the 2 to the outside so hard. And then when the 15 of Bell went 3 wide, it's almost like he wanted to give him some room for the corner, but then just completely missed his entry in the meantime. And that got the 42 all wiggled up. He made a great save, but a 7 not as lucky.
Yeah, let's go on board here with Swain. Right on the back. You can see how close these guys are. They're pinching and hugging. And down to the inside is the 15 at about this point.
Yeah, he just drove in too hard. I think he missed the corner focusing on 3 wide and didn't even realize that Swain was in the equation. But that was a great save.
That was an excellent save there for the 42. Reggie Ortega, unfortunately, gets a little bit of damage from that. The 7 gets the worst end of the deal here.
Yeah, for sure. The 48 just missed his box a little bit. This is very fast pit lane compared to where we've been the past few weeks, so it's going to be a little harder to get on the brakes for your pit stall. So we'll see if we get a new winner off the race off pit road.
It's close. I think Sturgill's got it.
Sturgill, yeah. Well, that completely mixed the field more than I thought it would, but Sturgill and then Bailey Turner got the 2nd through all that, and Jeff Wright missing his stall relegates him back to 5th.
A lot of positions gained, a lot of positions lost. That's how pit road can be sometimes. But we made it about 17, 18 laps before the caution. Pretty good racing thus far. Some guys struggling, some guys trying to figure this place out. This Gen 4 car, it's a throwback to how you used to have to drive this place. On the outside, it's really loose. Your slide job up to the exit of the corner, trying to maintain momentum as you go down those long straightaways. It's a learning curve because we've been at a lot of smaller tracks where that's not really been the case, really, here recently.
Our last track, I think, that we went to, the oval-wise, that was over 1.5 miles, was probably Auto Club, and that was all the way back in June at this point, and Jeff Wright was the winner there, and Banks was as fast there. Since then, it's either been short tracks, road courses, or 1.5 miles. So this is going to be our last big track of the season besides Talladega, which is in a realm of its own possibility. But Auto Club Michigan, the last 2 tracks kind of like that. Or I guess Michigan's really the only track like that anymore because of Auto Club's fate. But it's almost like old school meets new school in a way because you got these Gen 4 cars that were so used to the the worn out surface of Michigan, but this isn't worn out Michigan. This is newly repaved Michigan, a track that this type of car never really saw. So a little bit of a different race than what we might see if this was worn out Michigan.
And maybe a penalty here for the 90th Sturgill. I don't know. He's down below the apron. Maybe they sorted it out. Okay. Thought maybe he got a speeding penalty on the exit of pit road. Bailey Turner, how about that? He picked up a couple spots as well on pit road. He's up to 2nd position, going to restart on the outside of the 90. So your top 5 back through it. It's Michael Sturgill, Bailey Turner, Chad Klinger, AJ Stravado, and Jeff Wright. The names haven't changed, but the positions have.
Almost like it completely flip-flopped in a way because Wright was leading. He's back to 5th. Sergio's falling back, and he gets the lead out of all that. Wonder how close fuel is for these guys to be on the apron. Chad Klinger doing the same thing, so with a restart with 80 laps to go, it could make fuel somewhat tight.
Already the strategy coming into play with one caution. Lap 21, we're going to go back green and racing. First restart of the night, and we're back live at Michigan. See Stravado already dropping down to the inside, probably going to make a move on Klinger. Klinger shuts the door. Bailey Turner did not get a restart that he wanted.
Oh, but he got the turns 1 and 2 he wanted. Look at that. He's going to get right back around the outside of both those guys.
Backed up that corner a little bit. He gets a great run, gets clear of Stravado and Klinger. And now going to send it down into turn 3 and 4, right up on the bumper of M. Sturge.
Oh, he almost hit him.
Really close run there.
I think he had to lift a little bit, and that's going to lose him momentum. Here comes Stravado. Turner's trying to block 2 lanes. He can't do it.
3 wide down the front straightaway. Klinger backs out of it. Now Jeff Wright into the picture. He's going to get to the outside of the 09, who slides up the track a little bit. And that pinch down, the 48's going to clear for 4th.
Weeding back there as well, trying to get into the top 5. Sturgill able to hold off these guys for this point, but now you got these 2 guys behind him side by side. Which lane do you want to hold up is the question that Sturgill's got to ask. But look how close. They're almost at 1 lane at this point. The 24 is really pinching Stravado. Got to be careful of that, but I think that top line's the place you want to be to defend and pass tonight. But Sturgill's looking for the bottom. I think trying to break the draft.
Just clear enough there for the 24 to drop down in between. Everybody goes to the outside of the 90. He's not going to have any drafting help, and a rocket ship into 1.
Yeah, Turner's using the tires now. You can tell he's going to get that lead away. Big wiggle from Sturgill. He tried to leave room for Stravado. Now the 33 is going to go to his outside, try to get the run around. And then here comes the 48 of Jeff Wright.
A little bit further back for the 5th position, the 75 and the 84 to the outside of Chad Klinger. That's Chuck Sweeting and Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell, a winner here in, I believe, that was at a short track in New Hampshire.
Wrong, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Keep getting
I did
Kentucky
that last
wrong.
week, didn't I?
Keep getting
Yeah.
Kentucky and New Hampshire mixed up. That's like the 3rd time. Bailey Turner won New Hampshire.
Got it. I'll make a sticky note. I got them everywhere.
Write it down.
Big move there for the 35 of Joshua Banks. He drops inside of Ray Massey. He's going to try to take that momentum into 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to have it, but Massey gets a good run as well. They're going to be side by side coming off the corner.
Massey does not have enough speed for race pace-wise. Obviously got the pole, but just not able to really keep pace with the guys as far as race pace right now. This would put him back to 9th if he loses this spot to Banks.
And a big checkup here. The 88 of Hutton has to hold up. Now he goes to the inside.
We got a caution. Oh, we got a big wreck. 2 big hits. Jonathan Smith and I think Jared Swain and Mark Whitley hits him late.
Swain gets hit again.
Huge hits in that safer barrier up there. My gosh.
That's probably going to do it for the 42 of Jared Swain. He got hit 3 times, I believe.
Whitley's suspension looks broke too. He's probably going to be done for the night. I don't know where that came from, but we'll see what happened.
I believe it starts in front of them with that checkup. Oh, the 72.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was an accordion effect. You saw the run in front where Massey had to check up and Hutton had to check up. And for some
Whitley
reason,
just had nowhere to go.
it's right on board with the 77 of Whitley here.
I think he was mad at the 42 for not holding a brake, but how big of a hit that was, I don't know. Maybe he didn't have brakes, but see here what he sees. And you can see he had the hole and the 42 comes up, and that's all she wrote there.
Now, I just want to go back and look because we had that checkup here. And Ortega's involved in it as well. But even further back when they're going into turn 1,
That
watch
starts
this
with,
checkup right here. This is where it kind of starts, I believe.
starts with Klinger. Klinger's the one who checks up into the corner. Massey had to slam on the brakes. It's almost like the 71 reacted to that, and it caused the 42 to maybe slow up more than he wanted to, and that could have easily caused that for sure, but it took out 3 or 4 really fast cars, as we do have pit stops here.
It's right on board with McWhorter. It's like he checked up a little bit, and the 42 checked up. It's just one of those accordion effects.
Yeah, just definitely one of those things that happens like that so often. And 42 checked up. Smith kind of couldn't react in time like a lot of the others could, as race off pit road. See, I think we saw a lot of fuel only there because McWhorter won the race off pit road, and a little while before we get back to Turner and Wright.
Well, it looks like the top 4 here. Max Cost stays out. Joel Swaim, Chad Klinger, and Michael Sturgill all stay off of pit road. Joseph McWhorter going to be the first. Jeff Wright falls all the way back to the 10th position. So, not sure if these guys, maybe some of them took 2 tires. McWhorter took 2. 6-1 in his box. Eddie Trejo took 2 tires. A few drivers that took 4 fall back even further. Reggie Ortega, who took 2 tires, will be the last driver to do so in 8th position.
Bradley, Bradley, I have a quick question.
What's that?
You got the schedule still up there?
I do. I've had it up there for quite some time, have I not?
I mean, it's good to memorize.
I've had it up there for quite some time. I don't have a button for it, and I forgot it was up there.
Just
We're off to a
in
great
case you didn't
start.
know, we have Darlington. It is Darlington next week, in case you did not see.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen it. They probably got the schedule memorized at this point. We'll have no reason to show it again.
It's going to really change things up here, because now it's kind of like Watkins Glen. We're going to have all sorts of different strategies. We got, see, Sturgill, Klinger, Joel Swaim, and Cost stayed out, no tires. Then I believe McWhorter, Trejo, Lyons, Ortega are going to be the ones on 2 tires. And then the rest of the field on 4 tires, besides the guys who are destroyed from that last incident. So, like I said, just like Glenn, few different strategies happening.
Well, now that you guys can all see the action, we don't have a giant graphic in the way. Michael Sturgill, Chad Klinger, and I believe all the way back to Joel Swaim have not taken any fuel or tires. And this car, I mean, based off of how it's been reacting, it seems like it's burning the tires up pretty quickly. These guys might be sitting ducks here in the top 4.
I would think so. I guess wanting to save a set of tires for a potential late race restart could be the cause for this. They come in and tonight they have 5 extra sets at their disposal, though. So it's a lot, even for an 100-lap race here. It's like, I don't know, logic dictates you would take about a set every 17 laps or so. I mean, you have a lot of tires at your disposal, so saving a set, I'm not sure, would be very, very key, but we'll just have to see. It's going to be a lot of wheel spin to look for on this restart for sure.
Wheel spin. Entirely different situation. This car is very prone to it, but Michael Sturgill going to lead him into turn 1 at the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out, and we're racing for the 3rd time at Michigan.
Oh, yeah, those guys at the front did not go. Sturgill and Klinger went. Swaim and Koss had big trouble. We are scrambling everywhere.
4 wide as they go into 1.
Look at Jeff Wright way on the top side. My gosh. Oh, how are they all going to get through that? Look at the 48 just cutting through traffic.
All the way up to 7th now since the restart. He was back in 10th.
Look at him going under McWhorter now. He's got to keep pace with Bailey Turner here. Turner's even further up. He's already to 3rd after restarting, crossing the line in 8th. So those top 2 are the only ones to go on those old tires.
And still 3 wide back here, about mid-pack, 15th through 11th. Joshua Banks there on the outside. Chuck Sweeting now coming down to the bottom. Eric Hutton, who had moved up to the top 10, now back in 16th. He's trying to get by the 23 of Ray Massey. 3 wide again.
Turner up at the front. It's going to fly by Chad Klinger and also get Sturgill in the process. That's how much new tires matter. I think the tires are only about 10 laps newer, but that's how much they matter. Bailey Turner's already to the lead, and Jeff Wright's going to follow him. Well, that Hornet's Nest has not died down, 9th on back.
Still going at it here. The 35 of Joshua Banks trying to get clear of Chuck Sweeting. He does. Now to the outside of Max Cost, who didn't take tires on that last stop. He's going to fall back to 10th. A lot of shuffling still going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, big wiggles from the front to the back. McWhorter really had a tough time. He's on 2 tires now, so he's going to have to really fight that car. Banks on the top side. I think Trejo's also on 2 tires, I believe, so he's having a handful in that Kingsford Monte Carlo. Big wiggle on the bottom. Chuck Sweeting just trying to find a place to go. It's hard to not run into the back of someone because you want to bump draft so badly, knowing how the new cars work, but that just will not fly.
Yeah, it doesn't work in these ARCA, the old ARCA style cars, and we got 4
Oh my,
wide.
5 wide? Close to 5 wide at this point. Wow, Trejo. Big moment again. Him and Cost are dropping.
Into turns 3 and 4, Hutton on the outside. The 2 of Ortega peaks in the middle there. The 7 gets loose. Sean Langton has to hold on to it. He's already got some damage. You see him falling back a few positions. That car still needs a little bit of work to maintain speed, but we've settled out. I'm surprised we've made it through this.
Yeah. Also surprised they were 4 or 5 wide at like 3 separate points, but pretty single filed out at this point. Turner right Stravato on 4 tires get to the top 3. Klinger and spin! McWhorter got turned. Oh, Banks, Hutton. I think Chuck Sweeting's in it. This is a big crash.
And I can't click fast enough to keep up with it.
Looked like McWhorter was the first one to go around, and that took out a lot more fast drivers.
This is in 1 and 2. The track actually shortens up here in 3 and 4, and this is where the accident's going to happen.
Let's see. Oh, he got ran over by Banks, it looks like.
Sweeting involved, the 88 of Hutton, Ray Massey
Oh, Massey.
involved. Knox Cost gets a little piece of it.
Now, there was an immediate exit for Chuck Sweeting who got caught up in that, and it's a bystander, but that was a... Wow, did we get a front bumper view here of all this chaos?
Where do you go? Where do you go?
Oh, right. Just to the inside, I guess. I don't think he did hit anything. That was
He
Max
clipped.
Cost.
He clipped. There was a little sound there for damage, but I don't think he got anything out of it.
Very fortunate if that was the case. Right front looks good from my point of view, but that was pretty abrupt as Eric Hutton got swept up in it as well.
Hutton was struggling before that, coming out of 2. We'll go one more angle here.
More pit stops here. Yeah, it really does look like Banks ran the quarter over here, and Hutton dove into the corner to clear, I think, the 43, and just nowhere to go. Banks was in the middle of the track.
So Hutton and Banks getting the worst end of this deal.
I honestly think McWhorter, he has some rear end damage, but I think he'll be fine. And as we got some pit stops here, the 9009 come down for tires, no surprise there. Also, everyone who had 0 tires from the previous stop, I think
these
came
guys
down.
needed to pit for sure, and they had fallen back just outside the top 5, so they didn't lose a lot of positions. Probably the biggest losers on that restart were the 42 and the 63 of Max Cost. They fell really quickly.
Yeah, and Cost, just fortunate not to get damaged, but he did drop like a rock. Trejo was in the same boat, but he was on 2 tires, and he could not make that work. He fell back, but he did avoid that crash, so that's a positive as well. But a lot more fast drivers taken out in that. McWhorter, like I said, I think he'll be fine. The rear end is going to get fixed. Ray Massey actually got a lot more damage than I thought he did. He's got both. The entire front end of that thing's messed up. He might be done. Banks has a pretty decent bit of damage, but he'll at least continue. And Eric Hutton also got a big deal of that, as they're just getting out of pit road, trying to maximize how much damage they can repair here, as probably getting 1 to green.
One to green coming up here. I'm going to take a quick short commercial break so I can get these onboard cameras loaded correctly. But you're watching Saturday Night Racing League at Michigan International Speedway. We'll be right back after this quick break. Back here live, Saturday Night Racing League getting set to go back green at lap 37. Bailey Turner is going to lead him into turn 1. We're back live and racing. How about these onboard cameras? They look better, don't they?
Yeah, I think that makes it looks a little bit better, I would say, as Turner's off with the race lead. As we're down to probably only about 18 cars running after all that mishap, including Bentley Glazier, who just got on track 35 laps down. Thanks for joining the party, Bentley, but the battle for the lead is still going to be hot. I think Jeff Wright just cleared Stravado. Now he's chasing that 24 down.
There's the number 7 that we talked about earlier. He was making some aggressive moves on the outside, trying to hold some position, but it's not going to work. He falls back to 9th. Seth Hatchell gets around him, and the 43 of Joel Swim gets by as well. Michael Sturgill, who took 4 tires. Big wiggle there for the 7.
His aggression has not died down at all, but he got so close to the 43. I think the arrow on that car just pushed him sideways, but he's able to collect it this time.
Holding on to it here is Joseph McWhorter with a lot of damage on that 73. We ride on board here with the 73 car. You can see them all pretty much single filed out through the top 10. This is for the 10th position now.
Even with the damage he incurred, he's still pretty fast. He's to the outside of Lucas Lyons, who we haven't talked about much today. And now he's got to deal with the 7, who's pretty out of control. He wants the middle, but he had nowhere to go with it because he's blocked in by Lyons. He's going to try to go to the outside. This is a familiar territory for the 7.
And if you watch, on the apron.
Oh, man.
The 52 able to hold on to it.
And he didn't lose any positions out of it somehow.
I was just about to say, if you watch VSRN, our other sister channel on V-Speed, Lucas Lyons got a win the Bluegrass Truck Series at North Wilkesboro, so he's coming off of a win this week on Monday night. Go over there and check out. Subscribe to that channel as well. Lots of racing all the way across the V-Speed network. V-Speed 1, V-Speed 2, and VSRN. Bringing you flag-to-flag coverage of several different leagues. But here we are. Challenge for the lead, side by side. Chad Klinger to the inside of Bailey Turner into 1.
It just shows how much tires matter. These guys just pit. They were not in the majority of drivers who pit for 4 tires, and they're already up at the front. So any tire advantage you get matters big time because these guys are already about to go 1-2.
Yeah, Sturgill going to get around as well and go to 2nd position. And a pretty good job, though, for the top 3 to hold on as long as they did. Because there wasn't quite as many drivers that had didn't have damage or get involved in that accident that came down pit road. I believe Sturgill and Klinger were really the only ones that came down that didn't have damage.
Yes, the Klinger and Sturgill came down. I think the next one behind him was McWhorter, who was in that crash. Then Swain, Massey's out of a race. Ortega was in that. Ortega and Trejo in that range as well. But these two have just made up so much more time than everyone else. Next driver on new tires is actually McWhorter, who's up to 7th after being in that incident. So those two might rocket away after already getting clean track.
Yeah, and you talk about the tire advantage, the 73 McWhorter, who got a lot of damage from that. He's still making passes. He's going to make a move now on the outside of AJ Stravado for the 5th position. So maybe a top 5 here for the 73.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? 33 kind of shut the door entering the corner, but he's still going to get to his outside. Jeff Wright, now the battle's for 3rd with him and Bailey Turner. Instead of a lead, Turner looks to cross him over as the leaders come up on lap traffic. Wow, that was close. I think that was Jared Swaim, who's back on track, and just cutting across Klinger, getting out of the way after that close call.
So Chad Klinger going to lead another lap as this time by. That's going to be 2 laps led so far, 3 in the books as they come off of 4. 43 laps into this race. We haven't seen any green flag pit stops yet, but we have seen the difference tires make. If you're Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner right now, you're thinking, hey, these guys got fresher tires. What do we want to do with our strategy now? How do we pit?
My goodness. First off, you got to survive this battle. 3 wide, tight off of turn 2. You could see.
Oh, car sent to the bottom of the track. That was Eddie Trejo, I do believe. No, that was Reggie Ortega. Lyons.
I think it was Jared Swaim into a wall that caused that. Maybe it was Joel Swaim. It was one of the two. I think it was Joel Swaim. They are still, we'll see here. Couldn't tell. I think they came together, both of them.
Maybe followed each other up into the wall there?
Could be possible, and he just had to swerve to maybe avoid scooping someone up off the track, but that was an odd one that they're surprised there wasn't an incident out of that. We'll see here. Ooh, that was Hatchell shutting the door on the 43, and it caused a stack up.
So Lyons settles back out in the 10th position. Reggie Ortega just in front of him, starting to challenge the 84 of Seth Hatchell.
Another driver on new tires here, but he has not got through the field as quick.
Harpoon Designs number 2 has them Fender on the inside of the 84 as they go into 1.
Car on a wall. I think that was Lyons again.
Lyons.
Oh, man. Almost came across Max Koss, but he's starting to struggle and fall back. But he keeps it straight.
There's a 7 of Sean Langton going by on the outside. So Klinger, Sturgill, they've pulled away. Joseph McWhorter has found himself up into the top 3. And I'm not going to say the track that McWhorter won at because I have no idea. But I do know that the 73 has a win under his belt.
It was a track you turn left and right at.
Hey,
so we'll narrow it down to that.
Glen. Watkins
Hey,
Glen.
there you go.
There we go.
We get one off weekend, we just lose all our information.
Yeah.
And we have another one in 2 weeks.
Lots of sticky notes. That's what we try to do here. We're very old-fashioned.
Yes. Well, I have it written down on pen and paper, but good enough.
Google Doc. Still don't know how to work those. Side by side here for 4th position.
Yeah, typing and all that, that's too new. But yeah, these guys are still side by side. Jeff Wright's cleared Bailey Turner, and obviously you can see Turner starting to fall back just a little bit. Now it's Stravado alongside the 24, and then you get to Ortega, who's on new tires, but like I said, not showing the speed of the top 3 who took tires and have rocketed away. Really just the top 2, because McWhorter on new tires is not pulling away from Jeff Wright like Klinger and Sturgill have.
No, and I believe the damage is most likely the culprit of that. A little bit of left side there you can see on the 73. The tires are helping. I think the 73 has kind of leveled the playing field with that tire advantage. But he's not nearly as advantageous as we have the 7 of Langton. He's down in the grass, no caution. He's trying to lock it down here.
I don't think he hit anything, but I think he might call it a night at that point.
I think he parked it. He toes down to pit road. 7 off track now. He's going to lose
Call it
positions.
night.
Eric Hutton also off. Joshua Banks. We have 7 cars that are out of the race tonight. I'm including Bentley Glacier in that group because he's 38 laps down. He's still out there on the track. He had a late start. Very late start for the 4.
Effectively, oh, Bailey Turner already pit stops. Bailey's pitting. It is, well, I mean, not early for him. The last he pit was, what, lap?
22
lap
laps
20.
ago.
Yeah, that's pretty far from where we are now, but I wonder if that's a strategy play or is that how far the fuel can go? I have to think the fuel can go further than that.
He misses box a little bit too, so that's going to lose him some spots. I would say this is probably 8 or 9 laps shy of actual fuel window, but the tires, you can see the frustration here. Jeff Wright probably going to be down next with Stravado, some of these guys that are still out there. I don't know, short pit? I mean, I think this is going to be a 2-stopper either way.
He could probably make it on one more stop, Turner, but we'll have to see. The guys at the front can definitely go the furthest on fuel, so
yeah.
I don't think. I feel like one
that's
more stop
one.
is gonna be tough to do.
I'd say that's one of the 2 for Bailey. I think he can make it
Yeah.
and then do one more.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think even the guys who pit last caution can make it. They pit, that would have been a pit at lap 35, so you'd probably have to make it 30 laps on fuel, and that's hard to do in these Gen 4 cars even with a full tank. So yeah, I think everyone's going to be on the same strategy, but these two, with how the yellows have played out for them, those top 2 are going to be at such an advantage no matter what.
See him catching Klinger and Sturgill right now with those fresh tires. He'll probably be there within the next 5 laps for the 24 to get his lap back. And on the flip side of that, when all these other guys pit, he's going to be in the same boat where he's 10 laps down on tires, and Klinger and Sturgill are going to have fresher. They're going to be freshies out there running around, and they have such a gap here. We're talking about 2.5 seconds to McWhorter.
Seth Hatchell's actually the next to come down. He just pit from 7th, but I believe you're right. The only difference for Turner is that hopefully he's hoping that he can have a bigger gap than he did on the restart. That tire difference might not hurt him that much if that's the case, but it's going to be tough to gain back on those 2 unless they severely mess up on their pit strategy. Those 2 are that far in front. It is 3 seconds to Joseph McWhorter, who is still struggling to keep Jeff Wright behind him.
Jeff Wright goes to the inside now in 3 and 4. Gets the door to the side there. Doesn't look like he's going to get it this time around, but into 1, he's probably going to have the momentum.
He's going to get back in line, probably get some draft. So that 73 is still down on some power, but he's still hitting 202 miles an hour at this point in the run at the end of a straight. As you can see, Hatch legs in the pits, and even further behind this, the 33, Ortega on also newer tires, finally got past AJ Stravado right now for the 5th position.
It's like Stravado dropping down to the inside of Seth Hatchell. He might bring it down pit road this time by.
See if Wright does. He's on the bottom.
The 2 of
I think he
Ortega's
is.
coming down. They're coming down.
Alex Bell. Someone else back there. Lucas Lyons. Oh, whoa. No. That looked like he was trying to pit, but never really made it slow enough. Maybe he just got loose.
Lions still out there on the track now in 8th position. Chad Klinger, Michael Sturgill with their massive lead over Joseph McWhorter. McWhorter not getting that draft help now. You watch that lead grow to 3.3 seconds.
It is going to get better and better, no doubt about it. As Klinger's going to come down now, so the race leader is down on pit road. Sturgill's going to go at least another lap. Stravado from 4th is also going to pit. This will pretty much be our cycle here. Cost and Swaim, who were outside the top 10, also come down.
So 5 or 6 cars down pit road this time. Mark
See how
McFadden in
long.
there as well.
See how long these guys can stretch it. The guys who are going even faster. Edge Ortega and Bell were racing off of pit road. In fact, Bell's going to pass him on pit exit, which is pretty fun to watch, racing off pit exit. Looks like Sturgill's going to continue another lap.
So Sturgill stretching this out as far as he can. He gets passed by the 84. He doesn't want to stay out there too long because that lead will shrink. You'll find yourself in a different situation. Here's the 48 car trying to get his lap back of Jeff Wright. He runs the outside here out of 2. And I would say this is probably a cue for the 90 to come down pit road.
Yeah, he's one of only 3 who haven't pit yet. Himself, McWhorter, and Lyons. So can't give up too much time. You want the fresher tires. Wow, really swerving is Alex Bell. You want to get fresher tires on these runs, but you don't want to give up too much track position in doing so, and he will come down from the race lead, which should hand it over to McWhorter, who stays on track but almost hit the wall.
So Sturgill all by his lonesome down pit road. Joseph McWhorter is going to stay out one more lap. And the biggest stint, really, that we've seen so far in this race is about 23, 24 laps. Everybody kind of, so maybe the fuel is running out.
It seems pretty likely. We're only going to be able to really see how far the fuel can go if he runs this to the end, which I don't think he would. But we'll just have to see as Sturgill on pit road. He's been making a big deal out of how he has been struggling, losing time in his pit sequence. Oh, we got
Chad
spin.
Klinger.
It's Klinger.
Chad Klinger into the inside wall.
Wow, out of
Came
nowhere.
all the way off the top of the tri-oval.
That was odd.
Oh, he gets touched by the 48. No, he comes down in front of him.
Yeah, that was like they went for the same piece of real estate. I think the 48 wanted either behind the 09 or was just trying to side draft, and Klinger wanted to get out from behind him to pass Seth Hatchell, and they came together. That is huge. See right there, it kind of came together at the same time, but doesn't look like Klinger came down more.
Klinger came down. I think he was trying to pass whoever that. I think it was
Seth
84
Hatchell.
in front of him.
Yeah, trying to make that position back up and just misjudged it. I think they both came together, but the 09 definitely came down more as McWhorter finally pits. Lucas Lyons is the new race leader through all this, and all of a sudden the tides changed now, as that should definitely work in Michael Sturgill's favor.
Bailey Turner, the first one down pit road, is going to cycle out to be your leader as soon as Lucas Lyons brings it down pit road. 25 laps out here on this stint for the 52. Started back in 20th, biggest gainer so far. And he was the biggest gainer before this point, I believe, with about 7 or 8 positions. Now he is 19 up. 19 up from the start of this race.
Even when he pits, he will still have gained a decent amount of time, decent amount of positions, but definitely just trying to maybe catch a caution. He almost did, but via Racing's caution system, the 09 not a yellow, caused of a yellow as the 73 back on track. And we'll see how long he can stretch this. Still probably too long to go one stop it. He would still have to go about 6 or 7 more laps for that.
26 laps now on this stint. Bringing it down this time by.
Yep. That should finally cycle things out to Bailey Turner, who's got Jeff Wright catching him very fast, who's got Michael Sturgill also going to be catching him very fast.
How about Seth Hatchell in the 84? He's on the right cycle here. He's about 2 laps shy of Jeff Wright on this stint, but he's on the same tire strategy as Jeff. And you said that Bailey Turner's getting caught. That's because he has 12-lap old tires, 13 now as they cross the line. That's a pretty big difference, 0.8 of a second now for Turner. You can see what just 3 or 4 laps does.
Yeah. He pretty much lost a second last time by. Sturgill was half a second faster than a 48. So we'll see. Sturgill might have stretched it a little too long, but he does still have the tire advantage, and we'll see him bring that gap down, as we should see a change for the lead into turn number 1 with how big of a run Jeff Wright's going to get.
Now in the draft of the 24.
See what this top speed is. 1, 202, just cracked 204.
Now to the outside here for the 48 car, change for the lead. There's nothing Bailey can do there.
No, he's just riding his with how big the tire wear is, and how easily it drops off, and how quickly it drops off. If you pit on your own, you're pretty much running your own race at that point. And whoever's got fresher tires, you just kind of gotta let them go. And whoever you have fresher tires, then you gotta get by them immediately. It's just a completely different race, even if you've only pit 2-3 laps apart.
So we're talking about a 3-lap difference here for Michael Sturgill. He has the freshest tires in this top 3. He's going to catch Bailey Turner here probably within the next lap or so, and then try to chase down Jeff Wright. He is 1.2 seconds as they come off of turn 2. That lead is shrinking for the 48. He knows he needs to make quick work of it.
That was another half second last time by, and we'll see how quickly Sturgill can make work of Bailey Turner. He'll go to his outside. You don't really want to go towards that yellow line at Michigan. A little bit too flat. It gets you a little bit too loose if you're not careful. But Sturgill knows that. He went to the outside, got that position done. Here comes Travado, who pit later than Hatchell. He's been chasing down to 84. That pass will be pretty easy. So 33 to 4th. Hatchell might cycle out the 5th here.
And you have Alex Bell, who's on back. He's on 10-lap old tires. He's kind of close to AJ Stravado, but the freshest tires, like we said, in this top 5. Michael Sturgill, who's chasing down Jeff Wright. 3-lap difference. What a difference it's making here. He's caught him over 2 seconds, and he's shaved down this lead to 3/10 as they come out of 4.
It's probably going to be a done deal when we go down the back here. It's just how much it makes a difference in the corners here at this track, as this time by 35 laps to go. And this is a pretty big run. You want to really be in a good position, track position-wise, for your final pit stop. So you know how early you have to pit and when you pit to shut down the short pitters, like we saw these guys like Jeff Wright kind of pit a little early. Sturgill's got to know how to shut that off, as he's going to get the lead right back.
So back up front here for the 90. A lot of laps led for the 90 car, 10 laps. We've had so many lead changes here tonight. 13 lead changes and 3 cautions. We still have really no idea who's going to come away with this win. 33 Estravado goes by the 24 of Bailey Turner for 3rd. Seth Hatchell going to be the next one in line. The 24 probably regretting that short pit now.
Yeah, he was battling for about the 5th position when he did short pit last time. I'm trying to look back to exactly see when he pit and where he pit from. He was, I believe, in the 5th position, so really 5th place is got to go all the way back to, well, it is Hatchell, but then 6th place is Alex Bell a little further back, so he's probably not going to pit too much longer from now either, probably the next 7, 8, 9 laps, so not as bad as it looks.
As bad as it looks here, the Oneida Klinger, who was racing up here in this top 5, top 6 situation, he is in 10th right now. We have 14 cars still on the lead lap. First car that is 11 laps down is Ray Massey, your pole sitter. He's back in 15th position.
And he's 11 laps down. That's how long it took for him to repair his damage. And 16th is Jared Swaim. He also repaired his damage, got back on track 14 laps down. And then the only person behind him in the race is Bentley Glazier, who, like you said, got the late start. He's continued on 38 laps down, as he has really struggled since he's gotten on track. I think he's the only Toyota in the field. No factory support. Maybe that's the reason. But he is going to gain positions from this. He's likely going to pass everyone ahead of him who is off the track. So it could get him all the way up to 17th.
Yeah, he's probably going to come out of this race with a top 20. He's only got 2 laps with him and Chuck Sweeting, who is off the track. And you've got Joshua Banks 30 laps down. There's plenty of time. If the 4 can keep it on track, there's an opportunity here for maybe 16th, 17th position.
Depends who else goes off track, because Massey, Swaim both on track. Though Ray Massey is pitting. We'll see if he brings it in for good or he's just getting another set of tires to go to the end. But they were talking about not too far away.
Comes down pit road.
Yeah.
He's 17 laps in this stint. I'm surprised to see the 4 car down.
Yeah, a little surprising, but he has nothing to lose. Might as well use those tire sets. They don't carry over when we go to Darlington next week, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of tire sets at Darlington
Yeah,
next week.
rollover tires. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, that would be great. It'd also be great to use scuffs, but can't have everything.
Can't have everything. And that's just a rule in NASCAR. They've limited tire sets. If you haven't watched NASCAR in the past decade, there's been so many rule changes to make the racing more interesting between the stage breaks, the chase for the points, and now limited tire sets. They've made it as opportunistic for strategy as possible.
Yeah.
So anybody that says rednecks can't do math, those guys are working hard every week.
Yeah, they probably do the most math, so that's just definitely, you gotta give respect to those guys, as I'm sure the strategies are flowing this week in real life Darlington, like they will be in Saturday Night Racing League Darlington next week. Not only is it Saturday Night Racing League at Darlington, that's also our chase cutoff, where we cut the field fighting for the championship down to 12 drivers.
Well, we've had some pretty good action. 72 laps into this race. Saturday Night Racing League at Michigan International Speedway. We're going to take a quick commercial break, refresh our voices, and we'll have uninterrupted coverage for the remainder of this event right after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, if you're just joining us back here, we're under caution. The number 4, who is still drifting around this place, brings out the 5th yellow of the night. And he might be having some technical issues with his wheel. I'm not exactly sure. There's the tail end of it. He's going to come into turn 3.
I mean, this is not even really, it's not going to look pretty. It just comes into turn 3 and just straight up spins out, and that's early in the corner. 38 laps down, actually 39 after his pit stop. Is not going to go over well with league admins, I would think, when a guy 40 laps down self-spins and brings out a caution. And that was right after Bailey Turner at pit, and that's trapped at 24 a lap down, so that's really not going to go over well.
Yeah, that traps the 24 a lap down. One of the guys that was probably going to finish in this top 5. Michael Sturgill going to bring him down pit road. All these strategies that these guys had worked out, completely out the window. So we have about 23 laps to go. This is right in that fuel strategy that we were talking about, where everybody was short pitting. I don't think it affects the top 5 too much. They were pretty even, but Joseph McWhorter, who had kind of worked his strategy to try to maintain that top 5, he's going to be in a different situation now with that damage.
Yeah, and that's going to probably hurt him a little bit, and I guarantee you that's the last thing Sturgill wanted to see. He had a 2-second lead, was still pulling away from Jeff Wright, and unless he really took too long to pit, this was kind of his race to lose, and now he's definitely going to have to fight for it, because at least on those short runs, that 48 has been the guy. This does bring Chad Klinger back into things, potentially.
Klinger down and away. This 90 of Sturgill is going to lead him off pit road. AJ Stravado, Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell, and Joseph McWhorter get off of pit road. Your top 5. Alex Bell, Chad Klinger, Eddie Trejo, Lucas Lyons, and Max Cost. Max Cost having an up and down night tonight in the number 63. But he's been able to maintain. He talked about different things, and I talk to Max Cost a lot. He's one of the few people that socialize across all of the V Speed Network. He races in a lot of different leagues, and he's just wanting to maintain that top 10 in points, make that cutoff. I think tonight could be another one of those nights that the 63 gets to keep that position.
Yeah, top 12 make it. He is, like you said, coming in tonight was 10th in points, and he came in tonight 24 points in front of Mark McFadden, and he has outran the driver of the 71 most of the night, but not too far apart in positions. In fact, they're going to be right next to each other. Never mind, McFadden's going to pit again, but they've been close to each other, but that 63 has been a touch faster and could be gaining points on that cut tonight, especially with Jonathan Cofield, who's in 11th. I don't believe he showed up tonight. Same thing for Michael Kostek, who was 11th in points, also didn't show up, so that's good for McFadden. It'll get him into the top 12 for the time being. Chuck Sweeting had the opportunity to get into the top 12 as well as also Eric Hutton, but both of them caught up in incidents.
Well, getting double filed back up. Michael Sturgill and AJ Stravado going to lead them into turn 1. Race recap. We've had 4 cautions here tonight. We're going to go back green for the 5th time, and 14 lead changes. We're not done yet. You've seen how these restarts have been. They've been exciting. Jeff Wright has to pass 2 cars. My pick, personally, has a lot of work to do because Michael Sturgill has been very fast.
I pick Stravado, and I'm going to stick with him, but it doesn't seem like he's had the speed to lead tonight at any point, so that's where I worry with him. So we'll just have to see. That 90's really fast, and he is tough to pass when it comes down to the end of one of these races. We're going to restart with 21 laps to go. At 90 is going to make that car as wide as he can make a Gen 4 car, but he's going to do just that. And we'll see if Chad Klinger can get back up there. He's had speed tonight as well.
Alex Bell outside the top 5. That 15 car has started all the way back in 7th position. He hasn't lost or gained really that much here tonight, but we're about to find out when these races get down to the wire. Some of the guys that don't really show their hand until the very end work their way up to the front. Michael Sturgill going to lead him into turn 1. Green flag back out, and we're underway in racing. 20 laps to go.
Stravado wanted to get down, I think, but he also wanted to block the 48 into turn 1, but Wright's just going to drive it in harder and get to his outside regardless, but Sturgill did not get off of turn 2 well.
Sturgill, not a great run down the back straightaway. He's going to have a lot of company as the 33 Estrado gets to the inside. Challenge for the lead, almost 3 wide.
Jeff Wright can't go 3 wide anywhere. He's going to look to the inside of the 90, though. He's just going to follow Stravado through, I think, and help him out, or maybe go to the middle. It's looking like he wants to, but he's not going to. He's just going to shove, air shove the 33 into turn 1.
Alex Bell to the inside of Joseph McWhorter. That's for the 4th or 5th position.
Ow. Big wiggle. Stravado's clear.
Stravado does get clear of the 90. Sturgill falls back. Now some side draft here for the 48 as they send it into 3 and 4.
Almost looked like Travado's trying to play the lanes like it's, oh, big slide
Big
job.
slide. And Michael Sturgill cuts Jeff Wright a
Comes
break.
Hatchel. 3 wide, look out.
Into 1 and 2, they're 3 wide side by side. The 48, the 73, and the 84. They still haven't settled it out.
Oh my goodness, they're still 3 wide, but Sturgill cleared him. This is exactly what Travado needs as he's starting to pull away. He gained about 4/10 last time by.
Oh,
too
McWhorter's
much.
loose.
Wow, what a save. These guys are going at it.
18 laps to go as they cross the line. And McWhorter falls back to the 5th position. He has Alex Bell on the outside.
That's incredible. I don't know how he saved that out of turn 4. It looked like he wanted the slide job to the top, but he got too loose doing it, but he held on to that somehow. Now, Sturgill's got to try to chase down that 33, but he's also got to hold off the 48 in the process.
And you've seen how loose these guys are getting. The tires that were cold, but they're pushing them hard. It's going to be who saves it the most. And what I'm seeing right now, AJ Stravado with that clean air pulling out almost 4/10 of a second over the 90 of Sturgill. He's sitting pretty now as they come off a 2.
Sturgill not that much faster than Stravado last time by either, only about by 100th of a second. Jeff Wright was faster than both of the top 2 last time by, so that 48 can get to second, he's got a chance, but it's going to be hard without a restart to get from 3rd to 1st. I think you can do it on a restart from 3rd to 1st, but it's going to be tough to do under green.
A lot of work left to do. 16 laps to go as they cross. And I would say the top 3 are probably going to have a 3-way battle here momentarily. That lead's starting to shave down a little bit.
Just like Watkins Glen, including Jeff Wright, but the other 2 are different in this case, as now the 90's really chasing down Stravado this time around, this lap. Just getting enough air on the left front of that nose to close in into the corners and use that draft to his advantage. And the 48 kind of falling off the 90. Sturgill starting to use his stuff with 15 to go, trying to get to the back bumper to 33.
Looking outside, just outside the top 10 from the back of Eddie Trejo in the 21. Max Koss starting to work his way up, slowly chipping away at that 9th position.
Sturgill sideways off of the corner, but that battle for 9th is heating up. Trejo's made a good climb up from 23rd. He's up to the 9th position after all this, so he's made a great climb, avoiding incidents and just passing people tonight as Koss trying to take one of those spots away. Looking to be inside. It's been tough to pass on the bottom today, especially, oh, we got a spin in behind. I think that was Lucas Lyons. Another caution.
The yellow flag does come out with about 14 to go, 13 to go,
Oh,
and
not
he's still
done.
trying to get it.
He didn't win yet, Lucas. But
There's
it looked like
the
same
replay.
thing.
Yeah, he gets loose. Self-spin here for the 52.
Easy to do, especially how high up he was. Definitely out of the groove. I would call where he spun from definitely out of the groove. Paging Eric Eastep. But yeah, that high up. We've seen drivers make it work, but it's still out of the groove and there's not much grip. Once you lose it from up there, it's kind of over. He spun, I believe, from 14th position. Excuse me, no, he spun from 12th, and that's definitely going to cause some, not controversy, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, strategy maybe.
Who brings it down pit road? We have 9 laps on this stint. You have Reggie Ortega who had 11.
Yeah, these guys have tires to use is the question.
I think they do.
I feel like if you have a set, you got to use it here. And it looks like everyone's going to.
So bringing it down pit road for the entirety of the top 10. AJ Stravado, Michael Sturgill, Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell, and Alex Bell, your top 5 into pit road.
Do we see 2 tires again? We saw it earlier.
10 lap stint. I don't know. I don't know if I would gamble on that. I think I'm taking 4.
I would definitely want to take 4. Couldn't tell. I think Klinger just overshot his box, so that's going to hurt him.
Well, maybe 2 tires here for Eddie Trejo. Nope, he took 4.
Looks like 4 for everyone, and Travado just gets out in front of Sturgill. And Wright holds the 3rd position, then Hatchell, and then McWhorter looks like he got the 5th. I believe he crossed in 6th, so he gains a spot on the 15.
So position gain down pit road for the 73, but Bailey Turner, that's going to be a bailout for him. He's going to be back on the even tires that everybody else was on. Chad Klinger in the 09. He's also been kind of bailed out in this race after that spin in the tri-oval. But he had a little bit of damage. He did touch the inside wall.
Yeah, left rear damage, I believe, as he is... Looks like he's in the back now after all that. I think because he did miss his stall a little bit, he lost a lot of time, and I think... Can't tell, maybe he tried to repair it as well. Damage is still there, but either way, he lost a lot of spots there, so it's going to be tough to gain back.
So we're going to take the green with about 10 to go. And you saw how crazy these guys were driving these Chevrolets down into turn 1. I don't think we've seen the end of that.
I don't think we've seen the end of the caution flag either, but that's yet to be determined as we're going to go with 11 to go here. And this is, I believe, the first time today that the leaders picked the outside.
AJ Stravato going to take the outside line of Michael Sturgill. And you have Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell. It's just going to be a matter of who gets the restart the best. Jeff Wright in the advantage seat here. Or, excuse me, the 84 of Seth Hatchell has the advantage on Jeff Wright on the outside because that leader goes, you can kind of clock it a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely a play by Stravato to box in Jeff Wright. There's no doubt about that. And that's going to really hurt the 48 unless he can either go 3 wide or somehow get by the 84 and Hatchell doesn't get a good restart. But it's going to be tough down there when the leader picks the outside. You really have nowhere to go because you're boxed in whether the 90 goes or not.
Pace car about to pull off. Gonna go back green here for the 6th time tonight. With all these lead changes. AJ Stravato gonna lead him into turn 1. Green flag up in the air. We're back in racing. Who's gonna win here tonight? This could be the one that decides it. Jeff Wright does get boxed in. Sturgill did not get going.
McWhorter 3 wide to the bottom, 4 wide maybe. That's Bell looking to be outside, but he's not quite there. As that 90 did not really go on the restart, he's going to have to battle the 84.
Still side by side, the 48 and the 84 now as they go into 3 and 4.
Oh, big wiggle.
Seth Hatchell gets a big run, though. He's going to probably... Nope, no draft here, so he's not going to clear the 48.
Sturgill's making sure he stays in the tire tracks of a 33, though, but he's also got to get up to make sure that 84 doesn't get back to his right rear. Sturgill sent it in the turn number 1. It's a little better in the center than Stravato, but couldn't carry it on exit, but that 33 did wiggle.
Oh, and a wreck.
Oh, big crash.
73 McWhorter's around. And everyone dodging the 73. You were right, Connor. We didn't see the end of the yellows. The 73 came off of turn 2, and somebody might have got into him.
It looked like a slide job gone wrong, maybe. I mean, we saw McWhorter the last time. He had to catch it at a turn 4 before this restart. Might have been the same thing.
Here he is on the bottom of Alex Bell coming into 2.
Yep.
He slides up in front just enough. And how about the job by everybody to miss this?
Yeah,
right on
that
board
could
here
have
at
been
15.
Yeah, that could have been bad. Let's see. Yeah, just nothing he could do. I don't think he even expected McWhorter to try that. Bell, I think, got more damage from getting slammed into the wall than hitting a 73.
Riding on board here with Joel Swim, and he just about got involved with it. He chose the outside line here. One of the few drivers that did.
Oh, man. If he didn't, I think he would have been involved. So right decision. That could have been bad. But yes, as 43 avoids yet another one, as a whole bunch of drivers fake like they're going to pit, and they don't. Obviously, I think we've seen the last of pit stops. But no change at the front. The top three stayed the top three. Also, it's actually the top four. I think the top five stayed the top five. So let me just keep it at that.
You think Stravado takes that outside again? He's going to trap Jeff Wright down there on the bottom.
I think I would if I was him. I would rather race to 90 than to 48 in these scenarios. So I'd be surprised if he didn't do it again.
I think you're right on that. 33 probably going to elect to take the outside line. There's Ray Massey going around to get one of those laps back. He will be labeled as, I believe, 9 laps down when they cycle back through. But how about it? This top three, they've been pretty consistent through the night. Bailey Turner, who short pitted, has worked his way back up to 6th position. Reggie Ortega, in the number 2 car is in 7th. And this guy right here, dodging all these wrecks tonight. Unfortunate for his brother not to miss them, but the 43 has been able to make it through unscathed.
Unfortunately, Jared Swaim's likely to finish 16th unless Ray Massey has something happen. Those two drivers, still 2 of the 3 drivers, laps down running, but still 16th place. But Joel Swaim, like you said, he's been able to avoid almost everything else and has been able to get into the top 10 because of it. And 73 McWhorter, even though he spun, that's his 2nd spin of the night. He didn't really get much damage out of it, but he will get the EOL for causing the incident, as he will have to try to drive through the field to get a top 10. Because of the high attrition rate, it only does drop him to 14th.
17 cars still on this racetrack. 14 of them still on the lead lap. That's Joseph McWhorter, the last one on the lead lap. Ray Massey, Jared Swaim, Bentley Glaser, all laps down. Sean Langton, Eric Hutton, Joshua Banks, Chuck Sweeting, Mark Whitley, and Jonathan Smith off the track here tonight. Double back up, getting ready to go back racing. Your pick is looking good here. He's working his strategy, starting on the outside. That's a smart move. I think he's the one to beat here on this restart.
This will be a 6th lap to go restart. If we get one more yellow, it'll probably be overtime territory, but he got a good launch. He let the battle be for 2nd, which it was, and that got him a decent bit of a lead, but Sergio was starting to close him in just a little bit faster through the center of the corner, just a little bit more clean with his entrance to the corners. So I still think you'd rather battle him than the 48, but if you get into a battle with the 90 and one of you don't clear the other, that 48 will be there regardless. We've still got probably 6 or 7 drivers who can win this race.
Still very undecided, but here we sit. AJ Stravado and Michael Sturgill, the 2 cars, and you said Stravado didn't really show that he could lead, but a lot of these guys don't show their hand. Yeah, he's kept it maintained here for the remainder of this race.
He's leading when it matters, that's for sure, and he was able to get a good launch. As long as you get a good launch on these restarts, you're in a pretty good spot, with especially how hard it is to pass with the dirty air, even on a restart. So he's got that to his advantage no matter what.
Well, we're going to bring the noise here for this final restart. We failed to do that at the halfway point, so here we go. Harpoon Designs, bring the noise. Back live and racing in Michigan. So there it was, Harpoon Designs bringing you the noise side by side for the second position. Jeff Wright with 5 to go, trying to get around Michael Sturgill, but Seth Hatchell gets a good run off of 2.
And Wright has to shut the door. Hatchell can't let him go, but he's going to go back to the bottom. Sturgill really shut the door late there into turn number 3, but he did do just that. And that really hurt Hatchell more than Jeff Wright. Bailey Turner still not able to do anything with him either, but that 33's got a pretty good gap with 4 to go.
33 looking like he might have it wrapped up as they cross the line for the 4 to go. He's got 0.3 of a second almost separating him and the 90 of Sturgill, who's getting loose off of 2.
Big sideways, big wiggle driving on the right rear's part of it. Sturgill might have tapped the wall there.
And a car
another
wrecked.
spin.
That's Max Koss in the 63.
And that will definitely put us in the green-white checker territory.
Well, if I'm the 63 and I have an extra set of tires, I'm going to come down pit road and try to get those spots back.
At least gotta hope he's got a set, but I honestly don't know if anyone does. You see V-Speed Instant Replay. He's battling with Chad Klinger in the close to the back of the field for about.
This is about 11th position, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
he got
gets
loose.
loose off of 2 and checks up a little bit. Klinger has nowhere to go. Yeah, that was for the 10th position.
How much Klinger could
here.
do there?
No, there's really not.
You see Klinger, even Klinger was trying to pedal it, and he knew he was getting loose trying to pedal it, but just one wiggle too big, and 09 was kind of trapped. Nothing he could do.
We'll go on board here with. You can see him wiggle here, and there's just nothing. Nothing he could do. If you're Chad Klinger, you're gonna get into the back of the 63 for sure.
Yeah. Just bad timing. Nothing anyone could do there. More fakes on the pit road. More drivers not pitting. Bentley Glazier pits. He's 17th. He has the tire sets to use, but no positions to gain at this point. But nothing the 09 could do here, and unfortunately, he's in that spot without the spin on the front straightaway. Likely wouldn't be in that spot because he had a lot of speed, but right now, just sitting in the 11th position at this point.
Well, we're in overtime territory. Michigan International Speedway, Saturday Night Racing League, race number 14 out of 20. We're going to take another quick commercial break here, go side by side, and restore our voices for the remainder in the action here tonight. We'll be back right after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Just joining us back here, AJ Stravado is going to lead him into turn 1. We're in overtime here tonight at Michigan International Speedway in the Geico restart zone and taking them down to turn 1. Green flag back, and we're racing.
Is the best restart Sturgill's got since we got this string of yellows. But he's not going to be able to fend off the 48 to the bottom. It's going to hurt what he can do with the 33.
He does get a good restart, but he gets such a jump that Jeff Wright's able to get to the inside. Bailey Turner going to try to follow suit. This top 5 right on top of each other, minus Stravado.
And these two battling for second, that's going to be all Stravado really needs.
That's what he wants to see as he comes off of turn 4. White flag up in the air. And AJ Stravado just has to get around this place one more time.
4 extra miles never hurt anyone. Not going to hurt this 33 one bit unless something big happens. They're 2 by 2 in behind him, but since he took control of the lead, he's been able to maintain it.
Jeff Wright
Sturgill.
doesn't get by. Sturgill hits the wall. Jeff Wright has to lift. Now they're side by side into 3 and 4, but off of turn 4, it's going to be the 33 of AJ Stravado who's going to get second position. And the 90 of Sturgill gets loose again. That's going to give it to Jeff Wright for second. Sturgill holds on. Your race winner is going to be AJ Stravado. And it really did come down to the very end of this race. Congratulations, Connor Horn, on the perfect pick here. AJ Stravado able to get his second win of the season at Michigan.
Oh, he gets some contact.
It's hard to give a congratulations to a guy.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the handshakes as he goes backwards through the field.
Just getting abused.
He should just keep going.
He's not popular. He's clearly not popular. I mean, look at this. Everyone tried to turn him. But, yeah, he got in the lead at the perfect time. It just worked out perfectly for him. Once he got the lead, no one could really do anything to him. And those restarts are what got him the victory today.
So everybody giving some handshakes. AJ Stravado, your winner here tonight. Let's go down trackside and burn it down with a 33.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back here live, Saturday Night Racing League. We've concluded our coverage here at Michigan International Speedway for 100 laps and 200 miles, and it came into overtime, 206 miles to be exact. AJ Stravado gets the win here tonight. But we have a top 3 down on pit road, and I'm trackside here with the number 90 of Michael Sturgill. The 90 of Sturgill, who just barely edged the 3rd position. You had Jeff Wright. He got that good restart there. You had probably your best restart of the night as we're watching here on our screen, but it just made a situation there where the 48 was able to get inside of you.
Yep. That's yeah. It is what it is.
I mean, when you say yes like that, it makes me feel like I insulted you. You got
No.
3rd place tonight, Michael. Held
Yeah.
on to it.
Oh, I usually insult.
We had good strategy. We were off sequence and leading, and of course, right before the last set of green flag stops, I guess a car 40 laps down decided to bring out a caution. I felt really good about it, and then it took me. I wasn't the best on fresh tires. It took a while for them to get worn in a little bit, and then I was fast, and AJ got out, I don't know, half a second on me after that lap, like 78, 80 restart, and about 8 laps into that run, I think it was, I started to close the gap and felt good about it, and then a caution came out, and then it was just a caution fest, and then I felt like I could have definitely won tonight, and that did not happen.
Well, I can tell you that we felt like you had the strategy to beat. You were in the right situation midway through this race. You had pulled out and led 24 laps. You mentioned that caution. We kind of had kind of the same feeling that, you know, a car that far down in the bracket, bringing out a caution was very inconvenient. But you're still able to hold on to the top 3. What did it really take to get around this place tonight? Because this car looked like it was completely out of control for the first 2 or 3 laps out there on cold tires.
Yeah, you just had to be really, really easy on corner exit. You could really throw it in on entry for the most part and be fine, but on exit it would just snap on you if you were a little too far down on the throttle. And I felt like I did a pretty decent job of also saving my tires. And yeah, I just wish we could have finished out on a longer run.
Yeah, this green-white checkers going into overtime, it is kind of a crapshoot. Anybody that you'd like to shout out, Michael, though? I know you're doing well in the points. You've worked your way up from kind of a rough start to the season. You're getting the finishes that you deserve. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out for tonight's performance?
Oh, you guys for putting on the broadcast. My teammate Chad Klinger, I know he had some problems and probably didn't finish where he should have. All the admins of the league that put this thing on, and everybody watching.
Well, we thank you for your time, Michael. Hopefully we get to talk to you as we go to Darlington next week for the final race before the cutoff, and we decide our final 12 for the points.
For sure. Thank you.
There's your 3rd place finisher. I'm going to work my way a little bit further down pit road here and talk to the 48 of Jeff Wright. He's our 2nd place finisher here tonight. Jeff Wright, the 48 car, able to get by Michael Sturgill, and Sturgill got a little bit loose. That opened up the door. The restart there, he got to the outside. We had the 33 of Stravado kind of box you in, starting on the outside every restart. Do you think that kind of dictated the outcome?
Yeah, definitely didn't want to be on the bottom, for those restarts or have the leader take the outside. It's always an advantage, if you can start behind the leader, rather than, behind second place. So that didn't, help anything out. But, if I were AJ, I would probably do the exact same thing. The top really worked well on a restart. And then occasionally throughout the long run, the top kind of would come in a little bit too. So I would have played it the same way as AJ, so I can't complain. But yeah, we gave it all we had tonight for sure. Super happy though with second place. Just kind of the way things fell. We kind of got set back a little bit early on strategy. That first caution where the field got split. A few people elected to come get tires. I was one of those. A few guys stayed out. And then we just needed that to go. We needed that to go green. So we kind of got set back a little bit when that happened. But then a late race caution kind of grouped everybody back up. And it was definitely tough to pass for the lead tonight. But there was a lot of hard racing, 3 wide racing for the lead at times. So that was a lot of fun. And big congrats to AJ on a second win of the season.
Yeah, it was a lot of action, and yeah, congratulations to AJ. There's not very many guys that can say that they've even won here in this league with how dominant you've been so far. But you've come out second place finish tonight. You're sitting pretty in first place in the points, and when we reset everything at Darlington, what do you have in store for that track?
Yeah, Darlington's not my favorite place to go on the schedule. But we're gonna go there. We're gonna give everything that we can. There's a handful of guys that come to mind when we go to Darlington. Some guys in past leagues that have won there quite a bit. AJ Stravado, who won tonight, he'll be a threat there again for sure. Bailey Turner is always really good there. I think Joseph McWhorter is really good there as well. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, at this point, we're just trying to grab another win to our name to try to get some more bonus points before the the chase starts. So I feel like it's been a while, Bradley, since I've won. It's back in July, so it's been a while, and I'm hungry. I'd like to get back to victory lane here before the regular season's out. That'd be great.
Been a while since you've won, but you're still putting together the points. Congratulations, Jeff Wright. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, thanks you guys for the broadcast as always. Hope you guys enjoyed your off week last week. You guys deserved it. Hey, you got another one coming here, I think, after Darlington. So we're going to give you guys extra rested up here before the chase starts. All the sponsors help make this thing happen. All the other co-league admins, and then everybody showing up tonight to put a pretty good sized field here tonight, racing here on Saturday Night Racing League. And then, yeah, just looking forward to Darlington and then eventually getting that chase started. Should be pretty exciting. Should be pretty fun.
It was good talking to you, Jeff, and we look forward to next week in our cutoff. And most of all, that off week where we get to enjoy the very tip of the summer here. Thank you for your time, Jeff. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Second place finisher down on pit road, Jeff Wright. Not entirely disappointed. I mean, the points worked out well, but we have a guy down in victory lane with AJ Stravado, Connor Horn. You go ahead and I mean, just flex because you picked him tonight. So it's all you, man.
I did pick him tonight, so I hope he knows that. I'm in virtual victory lane with a lot of Old Spice, deodorant, and also Jimmy John sandwiches for some reason. But AJ Stravado, he's actually become the first multi-time winner this season. The only other one was Jeff Wright with 5 wins, and Jeff hasn't won in a month. AJ, you hadn't won in a month, but you get it done today with maybe a little bit of good fortune after the caution in the middle of a big cycle of green flag stops. How big was that to get you in a victory lane?
Yeah, it was definitely big. I'll tell you that right now. But I felt like we had race winning speed throughout the entire race. We were able to, I think, really get up to the front. We had a really good short run speed right there, and I think once you kind of got out a little bit in front, had some clean air, I could manage. And I think just overall that entire race was just playing catch up. So just nice to get back on strategy. And, I felt like we had a race winning speed. So just felt right to kind of drive through the field right there and take the win. Just, like I said, take the fortune.
Definitely took a little bit with a caution, but you also had to make the move with the restart of 21 laps to go. Sturgill restarted in the lead, but you're able to pass him in essentially a lap. We saw all race long how hard it was to pass, especially on the bottom of someone. You got it done pretty quickly. Were you a little bit surprised how quickly you got by the 90 on that restart on lap 79?
Honestly, not really. You could really carry some momentum on the top line for whatever reason. There was only like one or two cars that I think really were able to figure out the top lane was really quick on the short run right there. And I know Bailey and Jeff were pretty much the two that I saw that were doing it for the most part. So it's just about getting a really good run on the top line on the restart and just kind of making the move happen and maintaining track position. Obviously, I got a little bit fortunate right there with some timely yellows just to get the track position, but you know, it's all about executing on the restarts and, you know, maintaining that. And I did a really good job of that. But, you know, I guess a caution fell my way for once. Normally they don't. So, you know, it's just nice to, for once, be on the good side of that. Normally, it seems like in some of these league races, I've been on the bad end of the stick. So just nice to be able to get back on strategy like that and, you know, take advantage of it. Like I said, it felt like you had race win speed today. So just good to put the car in victory lane.
Got the car in victory lane as well, but you did have a few more restarts, 2 or 3 more to deal with, and on all of those, you did pick the outside. This was kind of what me and Bradley were assuming, but was that definitely a play to box in the 48 and keep him out of your way, possibly?
Combination of both, yeah. I mean, I know Jeff is really strong in these short runs. We've had really good battles towards the end of the races and whatnot, and I know how quick and strong he is. But just the top line, you were just really able to get a good launch just off of that side. I feel like there was a lot of really good grip right there, and you know, just able to carry that momentum through 1 and 2 and kind of take that high line. Just suited me and kind of how I wanted to drive the car going into 1 and 2. Just restarts like that towards the end of these races are huge, and I haven't been the greatest, honestly, the past, I think, couple months. So just nice to kind of execute on those late race restarts and bring home a win for once.
AJ Stravato's second win of the season. Yeah, anyone you want to shout out, sponsors, teammates, anyone?
Just all you guys in the broadcast booth for making this an enjoyable watch. All my Nexus Esports teammates who are doing well in round 2 to Road Pro. Hopefully, we can get a couple guys in Pro. That'd be pretty cool. And just all my buddies, all my league, you know, teammates that, you know, make it a lot of fun to race during the weekends. Haven't raced as much, so nice to come home and win, you know, one of these league races against a pretty competitive field.
The Old Spice Monte Carlo back in victory lane once more. Second win of the season for AJ Stravato. He does it at Michigan. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he is, AJ Stravato in victory lane. Connor Horn with the pick. And you have one, what was it, two now that you've picked a winner, or one?
It's at least the one, I'll give you that. I'm not sure who else I've picked in the past, but his first win, Stravato's first win of the season came at Martinsville, maybe somewhat of a controversial one after the incident with Chad Klinger. This one was just strictly racing and strictly beating them when it mattered. He obviously got the timely yellow in the middle of a long green flag run, but once he got to second on that restart, he kind of just flew by Sturgill, and it was smooth sailing from there once he got the restarts down to a T. So really impressive stuff from him tonight.
Putting the final results up on your screen. We're gonna take this time to talk about the fact that these points, these unofficial points, this is based off of last week. Jeff Wright with his wins there, and we actually need to get that updated. Let's get that official week 6 points up on the screen for you. There's Jeff Wright, is that correct? Is that the correct points?
No, well, I don't think so. He's got 5 wins. He came in tonight. I'm looking on Sim Racer Hub. I have the luxury of having that up.
There
he came
we
in
go.
tonight.
There's the correct points.
That's correct, yeah.
That's the right thing on the screen. So the points that we showed you at the start of this broadcast, not correct, but here's a basis of week 14. You're going to see AJ Stravato probably climb one more up that spot with those 2 wins over Chad Klinger, who had a rough night tonight. It's coming down to crunch time. These guys have really put in a lot of work, a lot of racing, and if you're a multi-winner like Jeff Wright and AJ Stravato, it's going to come down to the very end of this season, and this cutoff resets everything. If you're Stravato, who struggled here early in the season, now's the time to start winning races, and he's picked the right time to do it.
And I was telling when we went to Enrique Travado before tonight, him and Jeff Wright hadn't won in over a month. It's been since July for both those drivers, but Travado ended that losing streak tonight. We're still waiting for Jeff Wright to get back out of it. Maybe a little surprising after how quickly he rattled off 5 wins in the first 8 weeks, but since then, he's been a little bit quiet for his standards. It's been 5 different winners in the last 5 races.
Well, let's transfer over and bring up on your screen here the final results of this race. Travado, Wright, and Sturgill, as we talked to during the post-race. Bailey Turner, Seth Hatchell, your top 5. Alex Bell, Reggie Ortega, Joseph McWhorter, Eddie Trejo, and Chad Klinger, your top 10.
Klinger gets back to 10th. Good run for Trejo in 9th as we get outside the top 10 for a lot of drivers who had some issues tonight. I believe that's the 43. That is Joel Swaim, who got to 11th through all that. Lucas Lyons had a spin. He got back to 12th. Max Cost also had a slide almost. 13th. Mark McFadden, 14th. Ray Massey, the pole sitter, just did not have the luck today. He finishes 15th, 9 laps down. And Jared Swaim also involved in some incidents. 16th. They're trying to remember the name. That was the 4 of Bentley Glazier. Maybe some controversy. Bring out the yellow 40 laps down. He'll finish 17th. That is Sean Langton, one of the most aggressive drivers tonight. 18th. 55 laps down. Eric Hutton caught up in the crash with Joshua Banks. They both finished on the same lap, 19th and 20th.
Yeah, and 2 one-time winners here in the league, finishing almost at the tail end of the field with Eric Hutton and Joshua Banks. Chuck Sweeting, who almost got a win there a few weeks ago in the 75. He's going to be off track in 21st. 77 of Mark Whitley and Jonathan Cofield will round out your field tonight. Well, it's been a good one. Saturday Night Racing League always putting on a good show. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there on the bottom corner of our broadcasting screen. And for everybody that puts on this show here on V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, myself, Bradley Cooper, Connor Horn, we thank you for watching tonight's broadcast of the Saturday Night Racing League. 1 race left, and we dictate our top 12 for the points. It's going to be a good one. Hope you can't miss it. Until then, we'll see you next time, Saturday night at 10 p.m. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
This race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah McCoskey in the L3? He can easily defend this battle. The bottom surges to the inside. Now pulls even with Hutton off the turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.